Okay, welcome to day 7 of our bootcamp of our training. Though the training period is short, but you will agree with me that I've learned a lot. If you have been following us from day 1, you would have added something to the knowledge that you have. Even if you have been doing front end before now. And so I'm going to show you a sample of what we are going to work with, and then we'll continue from there. This is what I intend for us to design. If we can achieve something like this today, this is a form. You see, when I click on the form, it changes color. There's an outline. The outline changes to red. When I click on the form, it changes color. We also have things like icons by the side. If you look at the background, you also have some things there. So learn how to code by watching others. We'll do that. And then you have the claim your free trial. And then if you have by clicking on this button, you are agreeing to our terms and conditions. So if I click on this button, you see that it is telling you that the first name cannot be empty, last name cannot be empty, email cannot be empty, password cannot be empty. How did this happen? We're going to see all of them, even with all these symbols that are with them. Now, let me refresh. Another thing that this form has is that it has the ability it is responsive. So what I mean by responsive is that no matter the device where it will still work. So let's inspect it to be sure of what I'm saying. Now, if I change it to mobile, you see that the shape changes while still maintaining all the information that is still there, or the information that the most important information that is needed. If I change this to a bigger screen, the arrangement also changes. So this is what we intend to achieve today. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, you're clear.
From the beginning, or you're just hearing me now?
No, you've been clear since start.
Okay. Thank you very much for that feedback. So please, like we did yesterday, once you are not getting it, call my attention so that I will not miss anything that I'm saying. Okay, so we go straight to the coding. Usually what we need first is the first thing that we need to do is the HTML. So I'm going to open a new window. A new window. We're going to try to open a folder. That's the place where I store those things. It was 200. So we open a folder. If there's no folder, we'll just create one first. So let's design a mobile-friendly form or a responsive form, whatever name you want to call it. So select this folder. And it's now open for us. So this is the folder we're going to work with. So the first thing, as usual, is to create a file. I will call that file index HTML. And we set up our page. We're building the basic structure. Okay, so let's add some things that we have been adding before. So meta tag, we add some meta tags. Let's start with character set, UTF-8. Let's add another meta tag. Which should be equivalent X UA on file from content. So Internet Explorer now L. Okay, let's add another one. Import then we add title. Let's call it mobile friendly expression. Add the title. We'll come back much later to add one or two things to the head. Now let's go into the body. We have the header. In the sample, we may not use the header for anything. So let's go to the name. In the name, if we go back to our sample, you see that we have two major divs. This is one, this is another one inside the name. So I needed to explain that before we continue. So we are going to have div one. We are going to have div two. Please, are you guys following to this point? Are you following me to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, the next thing we're going to have is, if you look at this one, you see that it has a hashtag, h1 tag or h2, then and also a paragraph. So I'll just copy all this there and use it and make a h1 tag. So inside the first paragraph, we have the h1 tag. Then see the same inside the first div, we have a paragraph. And that paragraph is what contains what you can see here. Now, we are done with the first div. So let's move over to the second div. The second div, if you look at it very well, it's also divided into two divs. This one up and this one that is down. So let's work on that now. So we have our second div, we have div one, we have div two. Inside div one, the only thing that is there is try it for 7 days, then $20, then $20 per month thereafter. So we're going to copy this. I'll come back to this, we'll copy it, and then we'll use it for this place. But before we use it, we are going to create a paragraph. And then we'll put it inside. Now, if you look at it, you see that there is a difference in the text. You see that from days seem to be thicker than from the rest of the side. How do you do that? One of the ways you can do that, you can use to add that bold, is to put something like strong. Is to put something like strong and copy days, put inside, copy days and put inside. So if you do that, you would have achieved. Okay, let's view our page. View it. So we have the first one, learn to code by watching others, see how experienced developers solve problems in real time. Watching scripted tutorials is great, but understanding how developers think is invaluable. Try it. You can see that the 7 days, try it for 7 days is thicker than then $20 thereafter. That's just the emphasis I want to make. So we are we move to the next one. In the next one, we are going to have 4 form inputs. Let's look at it together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then button and then the damper. So that's what we are going to work on now. So we do first name input. Last name input. What other input do we have? Email and password. Email input. Password input. So we're going to have button. We are going to have terms and condition. So these are the 4 things we are going to start working on. There are so many ways to create input, but we are going to follow this pattern in creating this particular one. We're going to tie it together with a div. So each of the inputs will be inside a div, except the button. Each of the inputs will be inside a div. For the button to be on its own. Claim, let's write it in capital letter. Claim your free trial. Then the last but not the least that we have here, and do it with a paragraph. Let me copy what is there. Then by clicking on these terms and conditions, okay. Who is confused at this point? You know you are confused, raise your hand. I will attempt to it first before I proceed. See what we have achieved so far.
Sir, good afternoon. Is there
Yes, Susan, go ahead.
Is there a way we can like get the picture so that I can also copy the text?
This text is not much now. You can type it now. I can use any text to fill it. You mustn't use the same text I'm using.
Okay, sir.
You understand? If I send it to you as a picture, you will not be able to copy the text.
Okay, sir.
So just use something and fill that space. Just use something. If you are following me, just use something and fill the space. If you didn't remind me, I would have dropped the pictures I used for the other one. For this one, please try to remind me so that I will either attach the picture to the YouTube video or send it to the platform that we're working with. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So if you also watch, let's be doing the simple things for now. If you also watch, this one have a red background. And if I take my cursor to that place, it changes to a hand or yeah. So which means there's a different styling on it, even though they are on the same background. So because of this, we are going to add that one before we continue. So where does the red start from? Terms and services. Terms and services. So between terms and services, we will have an A tag. Terms and services. For now, we'll just link it to home. FRES. Index of HTML. You can link a page to itself like this. You can also link a page to itself like this. So maybe let us go with this one. Then for us to continue the class and to add the things that we need to add, we need to add fonts. We need to add font. I need to go to the internet to show us what I mean by font. We have different types of font. We have font awesome. We have font awesome. So we're going to use them. Introducing utility get 20% off. So we have page. So we have for awesome where you can use a lot of icons that you're looking for, and then they will still work for you. So you can do a new day of how to use this particular icon, or you learn it yourself. There's also Google Form. Or rather, I should say Google icon. If you see here now, you see different types of icons that you can use for your design. So if you watch here, you know that you use a lot of icons. So I'm not going to teach how to get it from but awesome. Okay, maybe we can do something like that. If I want to use this, for instance, let's assume I want to use this icon, this particular one. Or I want to use this icon. It will show me how to add this icon to my page. and it will show me different ones. If it's SVG, I have to add it. It is, I'm using React, but we are working with HTML, so it will show us how to add them. Now, for you to now add it to your work, you will need to copy it here. You need to copy it from here and add it to your work. I'm going to show you how you add it to your work. You can also click on start using this icon. So you see the easiest way to start using, easiest way to get icons on your website is with a kit. It's your very own custom version of Font Awesome, all bundled up with only the icons, tools, and settings you need. So all you need to do is to put your email and then to agree to their terms and conditions. Let me put an existing email. You agree to their terms and conditions, and then you click on start for free. You can do that. You can start for free, and then later you work on it. Other ways you can use their icon is to download it. You can download free for web. You can download you can also download their Pro or Pro Plus version. You know, once it's free, there are some things, there are some limited things that you're able to do. If you are using the downloaded version, it means you will put it in your system, in your folder. But if you follow the one of the email that I talked about, they will send you a code, or you see a code that you can work with, and which I'm going to type the one that was sent to my email. I'm going to type it out for you to see. Okay. While we are waiting for that to come, the download to finish, this is what you are going to see. You're going to see something like this, and then you are expected to put it in the head. So you're going to see something like this. That you're going to use. So the first thing we are expected to put here is style. Then href. It will come, the code that you see will be something as this. Let's check the email whether it has arrived. Okay, this one is here. Let me also check my email. Oh, okay, I didn't click on it, so I'm going to go back. Going to go back. I'll put my email and click get started for free. So they are going to check whether I have, okay, I already have, I'm already using this but awesome already. So they say I already have an account. Okay. So I'm trying to look for awesome. It is almost ready. And then this is one of the things you see. They'll say you should confirm your account. This was sent to me. I started using Fort Awesome. Okay, I created this particular Fort Awesome account since 2003. Let's search for another Fort Awesome email that I got. So Fort Awesome is very nice. I use it a lot. Um, so you get an email. I don't want to start logging into my account, but you get an email that will tell you that this is how you can use it. Let's see. Just know that Fort Awesome will send you an email and which you will need to confirm. And after you have confirmed it, they will not give you an opportunity to be able to use it. And how you use it is that they will send you a link that you will be using all the time for your Fort Awesome. And the link is always like this, always in this format that I am going to type now. HTTPS. Now, this is when you want it to run online, not on the physical machine that you downloaded. CDN AS dot cloud dot com /IaaS /leads /front awesome / the license I have is the free license that is of their version 5 CSS /all dot meaning dot USO. Now, assuming we want to use the downloaded one, which is this one. If I open the downloaded one, it's already in version 7. And if I extract all, while we're waiting for that to finish extracting, let's complete the code. Then you also see cross origin equal to, you see many other things, but if you can use no. Okay. So This code is what you will get from Fort Awesome. I'm waiting for it to finish. Now, if you open this Fort Awesome folder, it usually comes in this format, assuming you downloaded it. If you open it, you see CSS. You still see, after seeing CSS, you see all, you see menu. So I can decide to say, I want to use this one. So if I want to use this one, what do I need to do? All I need to do is to copy this one, copy it, and I prefer using the cloud one. So please use that one. But this one is just for, if I copy it, I'll first of all create a folder for the CSS. Inside the folder, I'll now paste the file. Okay, do not allow me to paste. So I'll copy again. Do not allow me to paste. So let me look. Let me look for it here, and then I'll paste. Now, if I have it here, all I need to do in my link is to do link. Style sheet. SREF CSS / all menus of CSS. Then upload. In this particular case, I don't need to add the anonymous for it to work. So this is how, when you download it, you use it. But I'm just using a file from the many files that are available that you can use. So depending on the package and the things that you want to use in it. So, but I'm going to remove this one for now. So that is that. So since we have added for Awesome, let's see whether anything has changed. Nothing has changed except that here is now showing the hand. Then let's go back and start adding those things that we needed to add. So in the place of the name, the first name and the second name, let's now add the input. Let's now add the input. So the first thing, remember the Fort Awesome code I showed you. The first thing, we're going to add that Fort Awesome code, because if you open this, this is the div. This is the div. What do you see first in the div is the picture. So we have the div, we'll add the picture, we'll add the input. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. We'll add the div, we'll add the input. When you make a mistake, you see another thing here. You see, we'll add this one. But this one will only show when the button is clicked on. So we will hide them much later. But now all of them are going to show. So let's go back. So the first thing, we're going to add that image. And that image is a font Awesome. It's a font, not necessarily an image, because it's a special font. And this is the name of the font, according to Font Awesome. Far user. You can go there and also look at it. And this is how you present it. Apart from this, the next thing you're going to do, in this place is to add the inputs, like I said. The input type. What is the type of the input? The type of the input is going to be text because we are working with a name. We put a placeholder. Placeholder will read first name. Then we give it the actual name that we want to give to it. Name. We can call it F underscore name. Then we give it an ID because we are going to add, we can use the name. We are also going to use the ID much later. So both of them can still be the same. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to add the exclamation mark. This thing to be 1, it will be 2. So you can look for an icon that is just like this, or you can add 2 icons together. So in this case now, we're going to add 2 icons together. One is the exclamation mark. The second one is the success, which means if you do it very well, you will have, for instance, if I see what I'm trying to explain, I feel here, I feel here, I feel here, and I click like this, you have success. So we're going to also add this one. Okay, so let's continue. So which means the next thing we're going to add is another font awesome. And it's usually like this. Fast as at when it was 5, it's usually like this. The 7, there may be a little change in the 7th version. Far exclamation cycle. Failure. Icon. The both cycle and failure icon. Don't assume the name. This one, I didn't cram it. This one is what for awesome gave me. So even if you're going to use the download, you still need to go back to their website to check the name that they call the icon. The name that they call the icon. If you check for the name, if you check for the icon, for instance, if this is the icon, and I click here, let me show you again, and I click here, and I click on the icon, it will show me, are you seeing it now? Per solid, per house. If I do this one, it will change to per thing per house. If I do this one, per light per house, per regular per house. So they are the ones to give you the name that you're going to use, not you forming it yourself. So if you write an icon that they don't have, know that you are not going to see it. So, and also be careful of the spelling. Failure. Okay, so we are done with that. The next one is to now add the one of success. Class as per pass per check cycle success cycle. Then the last but not the least thing we are going to see inside that div is that error that is showing. So we have a div, give it a class name, because we are going to use it in all of them. So there's no point calling it ID. Okay. So what we have done, we are going to do the same for last name. We do the same for email. We do the same for password. And since this is not our first time of creating these things, you know that the only thing that is going to change for now in this place is this line and this line. So I'm going to just copy what is here. I'll copy it, I'll open the next one, and I'll paste. Once I paste, it is also for user. It is also user, so I'll leave that. But this one is also text, but the name we need to change for the purpose of identification. So this name now will now be last name. The placeholder here will now be last name, and this one we can call it end name, and the ID will now be end name. For this case, this is the only thing we need to change. Then the next one will go to email. I'll paste the same thing. It is no longer per user. It is another thing, another name that, because it is a new symbol that we're working with. So that symbol is called for, according to version 5 of for Awesome, it's called for envelope. Per envelope, and then the type of the input is now email, and then the placeholder for the input is now email. The name for the input is now email. The ID for the input is now email. Remember, if you look at it, when we are doing type ID name, we try to use small letters. But for placeholder, we can start it with capital letter. Every other thing remains the same. So the last but not the least on this, our design, is the password. So we put it here. The password comes with a lock. It comes with a lock to show that we know what we are doing. It comes with a lock. And because it comes with a lock, we are going to look for that lock. And for Awesome, it is called for lock, at least at that version 5, for lock. For lock. And then the type of password is password. Placeholder for password is password. Name, password. ID, password. So at this point, we have been able to create everything that we need for the HTML page to try. We have created all the structure that is needed. The next thing we are going to do is to now add CSS. Let's see if actually we have created all the structure that is needed. So you see everything, the way we entered them, all of them are here now showing. So how the next thing is that we're not going to do it in such a way that some of the things will be hidden, some of them will be alive, and some of them will only work when you click on the button. And that is where interactivity comes in. Okay, So that's the next thing we're going to do. But for us to do that, we will do it as external CSS. External CSS. Remember, for those of you that are on production machine, if you are using the online link, it means sometimes it will require you to be online for these symbols to show. If I log out from this system now and I test this code, believe me, it may not work. It may not work because I am getting it directly from the CDN. Another time it may work is that if it is cached in your system, it may work for some time. But assuming you shut down your system and come back again, you discover that it will not work. So you see some of all these things. These are things we saw when we started using but awesome newly, not knowing that this is how it works. So if you want something that will work all the time on your production machine, download it and put it in your system. But if you are now posting it, it's not good. Downloading it is not the best option. Use the online one so that you get it directly from the CDN. Okay, so before we go ahead, we have to create the CSS. We have to create the .css. We can prefer to put it in a folder. Okay, let's put it in a folder. Inside we already have a folder of CSS, so let's just add style.css. So for us to now work with that, we have to link it first. We have to link it first. And to link it, we use the link. To link it, we use the link. Link style sheets href css style.css. Okay, that's what we have now. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to now add things to the CSS. So it is always good to make your CSS mobile first. So we say for mobile phone, we say for mobile phones, this is what we want to do. It is good, or let's say it is always good to design for mobile users. Why? Because they are the majority of the people that are going to use your website. And if the website is not opening properly in your business phone, means there's going to be a problem. If it's not opening properly in the person's phone, it means there's going to be. So for now, we'll go straight to creating the universal rules. So margin is equals to 0. Padding equals to 0. Box sizing for the border box. Then we leave that as it is. Let's check what we have so far. Okay, so you see that everything has rearranged themselves. We have removed every padding, we have removed every margin. I will say the box sizing to the border box. And so everything is now, there's no kind of any style now, you can use that word. And so the next thing we're going to do, the falling. So let's give our page, the body, a font. Maybe we can just do that. I'll say font family. Let's use Georgia Times New Roman. Let us use that for testing purposes. You can do anyone that you feel. So for us to be able to work inside this body, we can either use ID, we can either use ID, or we use class. But for us to be able to use the class, we need to go and give it where we needed to use it. And we also need to decide whether we are using flex or grid, because we already talked about flex and grid. So if we are, let's assume we are using, okay, let's use flex, not assumption, let's use flex. For us to use flex, we need to come back to the HTML and add them. For instance, now, here now, we need to add a class equal to flex container. Must it always be flex container? No, can use any name you want to use. Then this div, we say class flex item. And we also add a class to it, len. Let's do the same to the one down. We say class flex item. This time around, this one will be registration form. So each of them have two classes. Then we can also add another class to the one we have been working with before, that is inside here. Can give this one a class information, or let us say info, or message, or whatever name you want to call it. Then this one class registration, or class range, so that will not mix many things together. But there's a mistake that we made here that needs to be corrected. There's a mistake that was made here that needs to be corrected. So let's correct it now. Let's correct it now. For us to correct that mistake, we just need to add a form here, because the click and all those things will not work, will not respond properly, will not submit, will not do anything if they are not inside a form. So we need to add a form, give it an ID, and call it form. Give it a name, and call it maybe my form. So we will come back. There are many things to do on this form. We can add later. I talked about this in one of our classes, and then we'll put post. We are done with this, we close here, and it will close the form. So every other thing that we have done is supposed to be inside this form, especially to the point of the button supposed to be inside that form tag. We have created a form before, and that was how we did it. So I'm going to copy them, cut them off, put them inside the form. And I will try to push them in so that the arrangement will be proper. Does it mean that if I don't do this, it will not work? It will work without this, but I want my work, I like my work being arranged properly. Like if I don't do that, if I close here, you will not see this form. So I like the work being arranged to tell that everything is inside this form. So I can easily close the form, knowing that everything is inside. Okay, so the error that I needed to correct. So for now, we are okay. So we'll go back to our CSS. But for us to go, we are going with this guy, flex container. We'll copy it or say dot flex container. What do we want to do with it? Which is the main body. What do we want to do with it? We say the width is 100%. And margin also. So we have said that it centralizes it, or it means that there are equal spacing left and right. That's just what we're trying to say there. Equal spacing left and right. Then the next thing is to justify the content to be at the center. Align items. Align items to the center. Now we have a background image, which I'm going to bring in. The background image. Let me copy the background image. From images, I'll just copy this, go back. I'll drop these images with you guys so that you can work with it. So we just have 1, 2, 3, 4 images. One is background, intro, and desktop. And we have one background for desktop, we have one for mobile. So, you know, we are designing for mobile, so we work with the mobile first. Let's go back to our CSS. So we have the images here now. So background image, URL, Now, let me show you something. You see that when I started typing images, it didn't respond, it didn't pop up anything. do that. Dot like this. As you do that, you are out of the CSS folder, and it's asking you where do you want to go to. You cannot see images. And you say, okay, inside images, we have so many things. You have intro desktop, you have intro mobile. So we do mobile. Is there any confusion at this point? Okay, if there's no confusion, continue. So let's do background color. Let's use pink. Color. Okay, so this is what we have for now. This is what we have done. Look as if the whole thing has scattered. So he said the width is 100%. If you justify items, if you align items to the center, to bring in an image. Let's check. There's an image in the background, and it's okay. That's what we bargained for. So the next thing is to add, we said mobile. Okay, let me remove this so that you see the, let's see whether there are changes that are going to come in. Okay, for now, there are no changes, whether we add it or not. So let's remove it. The next thing we are going to do is now to work on the items that are inside. So flex item, let's take that. It's a class, so we start with a dot. Let's create rules for the flex item. So we say padding equals to 1 EM. We say flex equals to 1. So we still have this to work with. So don't worry, we are going one step at a time. One step at a time. Sometimes when you are doing for mobile, it may be confusing, but please try to do for the mobile. Try to work for mobile, for phones first before doing for the desktop. It will help you design. Your design should be mobile first. That's the simple truth. So let's go for learn. We have done for both flex item. So whatever is happening to this guy is happening to this guy. So now let's do for learn. Learn is like this. What do we want to achieve in learn? Padding. Oh, okay, we have been doing a lot of padding. Let's do padding top. 3 EM. Check what it is giving us. So it has moved it from top to bottom. Must put the 3 AM. No, you can put anything as you're designing or looking at it and seeing what it is giving you. So let's do text align center. And then the color of text That one was white. We can change this one to black. That white is not showing properly. So, and the color is already black. Okay, maybe let's do something that is blue. Okay, so let's go back and see. So you can see that the learn part has this thing already has its own color different from the other part. So the next thing is to work on the other part. Let's go. Then we can, the len has a h1. So we can say dot len space h1, which is this one we are talking about. We're doing it one after the other. H1. How do we want the H1 to behave? After that, we can also work on how we want the paragraph to behave, which is this one. So for the H1, what rule are we giving to it? We can say the margin top, we want to shift it from the upper part so that they will not be too close. Or why don't we do margin bottom? Margin bottom 1 EM. Okay, so this is what we have achieved so far. The next thing that we're going to do is to work on the registration form, which is the div that is housing the registration form. So, and so it is a class. So we have to add something to it. Also do padding, top 1 EM. Okay. Then you also go for the info. There's an info in it. Info is also a class. Info is also a class. So let's give it a root. A ground color, purple. That's what we have here. The ground color is purple. Okay, so let's try to see what we're trying to design. We go to mobile. This is what we're trying to design. This is where we say we should start from first, mobile first. So let's watch and see how we're going to achieve this. For now, this is where we are. This is where we are. Okay. Then margin bottom equals to 1 EM. Why is this showing that this is where we are? Let's change this one to mobile so that we can be viewing it properly. Okay. So we have it in mobile now so that when it is displayed, you see it properly. Let's finish the info. Padding. .5 PM. Border. Border radius. 2%. Color. White. That's text color. Text align. Center. It has a shadow, so let's add cross shadow. 0, 1 pixel, 1 pixel, 2 pixel. Light blue. So this is what we have for now. Later, for us to see very well what we are doing, we need to add some width and do some things to it. So this is what we are going to do now. To go back to our Flex container, and then we are going to add something to it. We are going to add display Flex, and we'll add Flex direction column. Okay. So we have it as we want it now. The next thing to do is okay. So let's continue from where we stopped. We have done for info. The next thing to do is to do for the reg. So I'm going to take reg, copy it, go to style, dot reg, and then add a background color of white. No.
Sir, please, you are muted.
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you
Yes,
hear me
sir.
now? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that call. So we'll go to radius. 2%. Then the next thing we can add the box shadow. Because if you look at it, it has a shadow. It has a shadow just like you want at the up. Box shadow, the same thing that we have here. So I'll just up and use the same thing here. So we have the same. Okay. So for now, let's see where we are. This is where we want to be. This is where we are now. Okay. This is where we want to be, and this is where we are now. This is where we want to be. This is where we are now. Okay, so let's continue. The next one is, if we go back to our HTML, the next thing you see there is, let's give it a class, and we call that class agreement. So copy it and save dot agreement. Font size. EM. Next one is text align center. Okay. Then agreement has a link. Remember, the link is here, has an A tag. Let's just work on that. Agreement is A. So how do we want it to behave? How do we want it to behave? How do we want it to behave? That's what we're looking at now. Let's remove the text decoration first, make it none. And the next thing is, let's give it a color, give the text color red, as we saw in that other one. Then we can say the font weight to be 400, and use any value that you find suitable. Now, we have done all these things. We have been styling every other place. Almost every other place is looking like what we have seen before, except here and here, and also here. So how do we do that? Let's style the form first. Let's now style the form. Once we style the form, we can come here and pick form. We don't need a dot for form. So since what we want to achieve didn't work out here, we are now going to remove it from here and try it in form. Let's see what it will give us. Okay. It has destroyed what we want to do, but relax. Let's go ahead and work on it. So the next thing is, okay, the form has any direct student of the form directs any descendant of the form that is a div. And then inside that div, if there is an input, make that input with a width of 98%. So let's check what we have achieved. Let me watch the code. Let's container. Okay. You see the problem we are having here. This thing is supposed to be 100%. 100%. This is the mistake that have not been giving me what I wanted. So I am just going to comment out all the things that I've done since till now, so that you see the actual effect of what we are supposed to have from the beginning. Are you seeing it now? You see that measurement has something to do. I've been doing this and it's not giving me what I want. I have to go back and check. So are you guys seeing it now? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So if we have something like this, then let's keep removing it one after the other so that we see the effects of what we are doing. So flex item, padding one, flex one, then I will refresh it again. Okay. Now also move out of this and do this is what we have done before. Then it's just that percentage that has been destroying what we have done before. So I thought I wrote percentage, not knowing that I speak that I wrote there. You can see for each layer, we are supposed to be seeing the effect like this. If each layer of something that we type, we are supposed to see the effect like this. And so the next one. Okay, so much difference. Then we move to info. Commenting each section out so that you see what each of them is doing. Okay, we saw this one before now. Now we move to the next one, which is the red, which is the form that is holding our input. Okay, you can also see it from here. And the next thing we did was the agreement and the link for the agreement. You can read that and go ahead and check again. You can see it is here now. Then we also did the form, and this is where we are. Okay. Then we now work on the input. see what the input has given to us. You can see that we have almost achieved this with this. So the next thing is to keep working on this until we achieve what we want. So let's go back. The input. Let's add height. 40 pixels. And check what it has given to us. Height 40 pixels. Okay. If you feel it's not high enough, you can add something or you can reduce. If you feel it's too big, depending on your preference. Border radius. We want each of the input to have a small curve like that one. Then it has an outline. We want to remove that outline because we want to put our own. So we remove it. Then it has a border. Two pixel. Solid. We can use hex value, maybe C4, 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 C4. This is kind of hash color, padding 0, 30 pixels. This means that the top and bottom, then right and left. So that's what those values are talking about. So top and bottom 0, right and left 30 pixels. Let's check what we have done. Okay. The next thing to do is, if you look at them, they have shadow. So let's do box shadow. This time around 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels. Then let's do 224. 224 with RGB. Let's do RGB so that we can add some level of opacity. 0, 0, 0, 0.1. So this is where we are now. Okay. So let's work on the form div. The form div that is inside the form, so that we can arrange these things that seem to be scattered. So for us to do that, we come to our style and do form div, position relative, margin, position relative. Let's see so that you see the effect. There's no much effect until you add the margin. So margin, bottom, 10 pixels. Okay, I've separated each of them from each other so that they will not be too close. So we continue. Let's do the input focus. When you click on the input, in this case, when you click on the input, it changes. It starts blinking, the color changes. Let me refresh it. When you click on it, it shows red. When you click on it, it shows red. So that's what we want to do. So we say input focus. So once there's a focus on the input, you should give it a border, 2 pixel, solid, with a red background. F27, 9. I stop there. Let's see, F27, 9, F2. Okay, this is not red. So let's try 16. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have. I click here. So we can see that we have, the next thing we're going to do is, how do I put these forms? How do I put these things inside? This one will come inside here. This two will be at this form. How do I do that? That's the next thing we're going to do. Styling. The form icon. Okay, so to style the form icons, you can start with failure. Now we have failure icon. Where is it? Inside the form, we have the process icon. We have the what again? We have the failure icon. So let's work on the two. And okay, failure icon and success icon, they are not the same, but failure icon and error message are the same. So we can give both of them the same color. Comma, error. So this is how you just and since they are fonts, they behave like font, we can style them as font. Since they behave like font, we can style them as font. You see, they behave like font, we have styled them as font. Okay. So the next thing is to style success too. So we say success. Want success to show that it has worked. So success will now be color green. Success will now be color green. So you watch, you also have color green option. The next thing is to style the error properly. I'll say error is equal to font size 14 pixel, margin top 2 pixels, close right, font style italic. Margin right. 10 pixels. So let's see what we have achieved. Okay, because the error message is not showing, you may not see what you have done. But if I just add something to inside it, let's just add something to one of them to see what we have done. See, we floated it to the right if it's showing and all that. But that error message is supposed to come from our what's it called? From JavaScript. So, but that is just for you to see the effect of what we just did. We'll remove it later as time goes on. Okay, so the next thing to do is to now style our to now hide our success. The next thing to do, we have moved error now. So we want to move the success and the failure icon. Failure, success icon, to move them to the right. That's the next thing we're going to do. So we can just say right equals to 0. So if we refresh, okay, this will help us to make sure that by the time it displays, it will not move outside of the D. So the next thing to hide it, we say opacity. Opacity 0. So to do opacity 0, it hides it. Opacity 0 hides it. So this, we can stop here for the styling. If people think we should continue, I will stop here and continue building this. Hello, let me get your response. Do we stop here?
So we can continue to 5.
Okay, we can continue to 5.
Yes, sir.
Let another person second it so that we'll continue. You know, we have not done styling for desktop. Okay, so somebody said we can continue to 5. But I want us to stop here. The video is going to be too long. Let's stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Unless anybody has a question, we'll continue from this same form tomorrow. We must finish it. Complete the CSS and also complete the JavaScript. So we use tomorrow lesson to complete that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any question? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. If there's no question, I think we can call it today. As we that, I also share the listing with you guys.